Of course, like G says, keep coming through with everything that you got up to on these Valentine's Day weekends that we spent so much time spending love and sharing love indeed. And we will be bringing it to the show later. But now we're still joined in studio by businessman, author and content creator Justin Harrison, who started a YouTube channel titled Global Money Academy, which was created to help make a more financially literate South Africa. And he's encouraging us to better understand and control our finances as opposed to being passive and subsequently controlled by them. And he's also joined by the co-founding member himself. Adam, I believe you've been a big part of this journey right throughout everything. And I want to thank you as well for joining us this morning, man. How are you doing?
Pretty well, thanks for having us.
Again, you guys look like money. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. I think Janie's trying to get some merch here. She's like,
I'll tell you what, I'll hook you up with a cap later. How's that?
Okay, that is perfect. But I want to speak about something that I spoke about earlier on. I said, what about people that is living, you know, mouth to hand? How do they then prioritize their expenses and also the income and just make a budget friendly for them?
So I think the important thing to know when we think about people living hand to mouth, we generally think about the low income earners. But there is a real thing called middle class poverty. And so I look at these two market segments very differently. They're two different groups of people. For people right at the bottom, listen, you've got to figure out how to make more money. And we as a nation, we're not lazy. We can get off the couch, we can pick up a bucket and a sponge, and we can go wash cars on the weekend. We can do something extra to earn extra money, but we've got to start exercising our entrepreneurial spirit. That's the first thing I'd say. Then for the middle class people, stop trying to impress other people. Start reducing your expenses and come in line. Because here's the things that you purchase today is probably going to land up on a rubbish dump in 20, 30 years' time. Materialism is probably the problem of our generation. So let's step away from that. Let's focus on the things that are important. Putting a roof over our head, you know, making sure we've got food on the table, making sure we raise our families correctly, and making sure we build a better nation by having better habits. Because we can't complain about the community around us if we haven't fixed the problem in our own homes. That's where it starts. It starts at the dinner table at home.
Oh, absolutely. Love that. And I think it's so important to just kind of stay in your financial lane. We don't need to be impressing anybody right now.
Yeah.
And I think there is still that weird pressure that we somehow seem to have to. And I don't understand why. But I've got to ask, you guys also host webinars and seminars which are really creating literacy and you are educating at the same time. But what are some of those, what are some of the more common questions that you guys are getting from these sessions? I mean, is there a general trend of this is exactly what everybody is struggling with? Is there anything coming through like that?
Well, so it's quite interesting. Darvi's really the inspiration behind the live streams that we do. And Darvi can probably speak a bit more about this, but the most common question I see is how do we get out of debt? We got ourselves in the brown stuff, how do we get out? You know, it's problems and we want solutions. How do we get out of it? And that's really one of the biggest questions. The next biggest question is, where do we invest our money? How do we invest? I see Bitcoin doing this, I see that doing that. My uncle said this, where should I invest my money? So those are probably the two common themes that come through on our live streams.
And trusting where to put your money, because you have everybody pushing a specific agenda.
Yep.
Invest with me, I'll do this, like you mentioned. So how do we know that the money is going to do what we intended to do when we are investing it, which is quite important?
Well, I mean, it's heartbreaking. We see it all the time. I mean, we actually help a lot of people individually on the side where we can. And we've got people in their 60s and 70s who've invested their entire life savings into the incorrect places and lost their money. You know, brokers run off of the money, the scheme's fallen flat. And so the one piece of advice I want to give everybody out there, please guys, don't invest in anything you don't understand. If you don't understand it, don't put your money on there. That's how you lose money. So, you know, it's really important to understand what your money is going to be doing. It's more than the trust factor, is understanding what you're investing into.
Yeah, if it sounds too good to true, it probably is.
Probably is. I think that's a very valuable point.
100% return, probably unlikely.
Okay.
I guess the one question everybody wants to know is just how can we become financially literate in South Africa today?
Yep. I mean, that's such a great question. I think there is no excuse for anybody to be financially illiterate today because we've got Google, we've got YouTube, we've got Wikipedia. There's just so many great free resources out there. And you know, you don't have to go and study a degree to understand finance. We don't have finance degrees. What we have is real boots on the ground, knowledge and understanding of how money works. And the way you do that is just by going and reading and asking questions. I think if we can become a nation of readers especially, rather than just, you know, focusing on all the wrong things, we can start filling our minds with the right knowledge, the right information to really make the right choices.
All right. Well, Davi, let me ask you this. All right, Mzansi's keen. We trust you. You guys look the part. I think we can do well with your money. What's the next step? Where do we begin this journey? If I've got some money that I want to invest, what do I do with it?
Well, get financial literacy. I would say that. Read as much as you can, learn as much as a subject or the thing you want to invest in. And only after you've learned about the subject, only then go invest. Don't just blindly throw money against it and hope it sticks and hope you make a return, you know. Yeah. I think that was my biggest thing as well, and I learned the hard way in the beginning, is learn what you want to invest in. If you want to invest in stocks, learn everything you can about the company, and only then, after you've learned about the company, only then go and invest.
Okay. Quickly, where can people find you? Where can people get hold of you to become financially literate?
Absolutely. So people can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Global Money Academy, and also go to our website, globalmoneyacademy.com. We have all our books on there, and we also have a 21-day free financial boot camp, which, as we were saying, teaching people how to budget, really taking people right back to basics. So nobody needs to be intimidated. It's free. They can come on, they can join, and really learn the basics of how to categorize your money, how to track it, and how to make sure that you generate savings.
Oh, well, Justin, Davi, guys, you've been an absolute breathtaking, refreshing bit of energy when it comes to finance, of course, and you've given us a little bit of hope as well. So I'm looking forward to what you guys can do in terms of saving Mzansi, educating all of us, and getting us in that position where we can not worry and stress and be emotionally attached to all this loss that we currently experience. Thank you so much, gents.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
For having us.
And of course, Mzansi, that's what you can get. Author and content creator Justin Harrison, obviously joined by Davi, too, are taking us back to basics with money and the essentials we all need to be aware of to make better financial choices going forward.